3 years, that's how long Maria spent in English classes, spending over $5,000 on courses, apps, and tutors. She could recite grammar rules perfectly, knew hundreds of vocabulary words by heart, but when her American colleague asked her a simple question at work, she froze. Sound familiar? Here's the truth that language schools don't want you to know. 95% of English learners are using methods that are not just ineffective, they're actually slowing down your progress. But there's one method, backed by decades of linguistic research, that can get you to fluency faster than anything else. I'm about to share the only way to become truly fluent in English, and by the end of this video, you'll have a complete roadmap that will transform how you learn English forever. The problem with traditional methods. Let me ask you something. How did you learn your native language? Did your parents hand you grammar books when you were 2 years old? Did they make you memorize vocabulary lists? Of course not. You learned by listening, understanding, and naturally picking up patterns. Yet somehow, when it comes to learning English as adults, we throw this natural process out the window. We sit in classrooms conjugating verbs, we memorize word lists that we forget within days, and we practice conversations that sound nothing like real English. Here's what's wrong with traditional methods. Number 1, grammar-focused learning. This puts the cart before the horse. You're trying to learn rules before you understand the language intuitively. It's like trying to learn to drive by memorizing the traffic manual without ever sitting behind the wheel. Number 2, vocabulary memorization. It creates knowledge that doesn't stick. You might remember that ubiquitous means everywhere, but you'll never use it naturally in conversation because you haven't heard it in context hundreds of times. Number 3, structured conversations teach you to speak like a robot. Real English is messy, full of interruptions, slang, and cultural references that no textbook can capture. The result? Students who can pass tests but can't hold real conversations. People who understand English in perfect classroom conditions but struggle with movies, podcasts, or casual conversations. Let's discuss the science behind language acquisition. But here's where it gets interesting. In the 1980s, linguist Stephen Krashen revolutionized our understanding of how languages are actually acquired. His research revealed something profound. We don't learn languages, we acquire them. The difference is crucial. Learning is conscious, deliberate, and temporary. Acquisition is subconscious, natural, and permanent. Krashen discovered that language acquisition happens through one primary method, comprehensible input. This means receiving language that is slightly above your current level, but still understandable through context. Think about it. A child doesn't learn the word dog by memorizing its definition. They hear "look at the dog" while pointing at a furry, four-legged animal. They hear it hundreds of times in different contexts until the word becomes automatic. Research from the University of Essex found that students using comprehensible input methods achieved native-like proficiency 4 times faster than those using traditional grammar translation methods. That's not a small difference, that's revolutionary. Here's the key insight. You acquire language when you understand messages, not when you study language rules. This is why immigrants who work in English-speaking environments often become fluent faster than students who spend years in formal classes. They're getting massive amounts of comprehensible input every day. Let's analyze the 3,000-word revelation. Now, here's something that will blow your mind. Linguistic research shows that knowing just 3,000 words allows you to understand 95% of spoken English. Let me repeat that. 3,000 words is equivalent to 95% comprehension. For comparison, Shakespeare used about 29,000 different words in all his works combined. The average native English speaker actively uses around 20,000 words, but you only need 3,000 to understand almost everything. Why? Because language follows what's called the Pareto principle. A small number of words account for the vast majority of communication. The 100 most common English words make up about 50% of all written English. The top 1,000 words cover about 75%. This means that instead of trying to memorize random vocabulary lists, you should focus on acquiring these high-frequency words through natural exposure. But here's the catch. These aren't just any 3,000 words. They need to be the right 3,000 words, learned in the right way, through context and repetition, not memorization. When you know these core words deeply, not just their definitions, but how they sound, how they're used, and how they combine with other words, you unlock the ability to understand almost any English conversation, movie, or podcast. Now let's get into what I labeled as the comprehensible input method, explaining, so what exactly is comprehensible input, and how do you use it to become fluent? I want you to do something for me. Try and imagine this. I'm walking to my kitchen. This is my kitchen. I'm opening the refrigerator. The refrigerator is cold. I'm taking out an apple. This apple is red. Red apples are sweet. I'm biting the apple. It's delicious. Even if you didn't understand every single word, you probably understood what was happening, right? That's comprehensible input in action. Here's what makes this method so powerful. Number 1, context provides meaning. You don't need to translate every word. Visual cues, actions, and situational context help you understand meaning naturally. Number 2, repetition builds familiarity. Notice how I repeated keywords like apple and red in different contexts. This natural repetition helps words stick without forced memorization. Number 3, progressive complexity. Pumclexid 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 progressive complexity. En sheet sporb in singen enit enand. Amidwis. En sheet sporb in singen enid R20. The language is slightly challenging, but not overwhelming. You understand the general meaning while encountering some new elements. Number 4, emotional engagements. Real-life situations and interesting content keep your brain engaged, which is crucial for acquisition. Finally, number 5, natural pronunciation and rhythm. You're hearing authentic English pronunciation, stress patterns, and natural speech rhythm. This is exactly how children acquire their first language, and it's exactly how you can acquire English as a second language. The key is finding content that is interesting to you personally. If you love cooking, watch cooking videos in English. If you're into technology, find tech podcasts at your level. If you enjoy stories, listen to simple audiobooks. Your brain learns best when it's engaged and interested, not when it's bored by artificial textbook dialogues. Now let's talk about the complete 3-step system. Now I'm going to give you the complete system that will take you from where you are now to fluency. This is based on successful language acquisition research and tested with thousands of learners. Step 1. Immerse in comprehensible input. Your primary focus should be consuming English content that is slightly above your current level, but still understandable. For beginners, start with content designed for English learners. YouTube channels that use simple English with visuals, graded readers with audio, children's animated shows. Don't feel embarrassed. They're perfect for language acquisition. For intermediate learners, travel vlogs and lifestyle content, documentary series on topics you enjoy, podcasts designed for intermediate learners, TV shows with English subtitles for advanced learners, native-level podcasts on your interest, news programs and interviews, movies and TV series without subtitles, audiobooks at natural speed. The golden rule: if you understand less than 70% or more than 95%, adjust the difficulty level. Step 2. Active reinforcement. This is where you solidify what you've just acquired. Here's how. 1 point. Immediate reflection. After watching or listening, ask yourself, what was the main message? What new words or expressions did I notice? 2. AI-powered practice. Use tools like ChatGPT with this prompt. I just watched an English video about topic. Help me practice the new vocabulary and expressions I encountered. Give me definitions, examples, and quiz me on usage. 3. Contextual note-taking. Don't just write down new words. Write down the full sentence where you heard them. Context is everything. 4. Shadow practice. Play short segments and try to speak along with the speaker. This develops your pronunciation and speech rhythm naturally. Step 3. Consistent review and application. 1. Spaced repetition system. Use apps like Anki, but instead of isolated words, use full sentences from your comprehensible input. Review the sentences, not just the vocabulary. 2. Weekly reflection. Every week, watch a piece of content you enjoyed from a month ago. Notice how much more you understand. This builds confidence and motivation. 3. Real-world application. Find opportunities to use English naturally. This could be commenting on YouTube videos, joining online communities, or having conversations with language exchange partners. 4. Progress tracking. Keep a simple log of what you've consumed and how comfortable you felt with the difficulty level. Gradually increase complexity as you improve. Let's also discuss the timing strategy. Here's the schedule that works for most successful learners. Morning 15-20 minutes. High-energy content like news or educational videos. Lunch break 10-15 minutes. Lighter content like lifestyle vlogs or entertainment. Evening 20-30 minutes. Relaxing content like audiobooks or podcast. Before bed 5-10 minutes. Review and reflection. Remember, consistency beats intensity. 30 minutes daily is far better than 3 hours once a week. Here are common mistakes and how to avoid them. Let me address the biggest mistakes I see learners make with this method, because avoiding these will accelerate your progress dramatically. Mistake number 1. Choosing content that's too difficult. If you're constantly pausing to look up words, the content is too hard. You should understand the general meaning without translation. Ego aside, start easier than you think you need to. Mistake 2. Trying to understand every single word. This is the hardest habit to break for traditional learners. You don't need to understand every word to acquire language. Focus on the overall message and let your brain fill in the gaps naturally. Mistake number 3. Not giving it enough time. Language acquisition takes time. You might not see dramatic improvements for 2 to 3 months, but then suddenly everything clicks. Trust the process. Mistake 4. Mixing too many input sources. Stick with content creators or series you enjoy. Hearing the same voices and vocabulary repeatedly speeds up acquisition. Mistake 5. Neglecting emotional connection. If you're bored, your brain isn't acquiring. Find content that genuinely interests or entertains you. Passion accelerates learning. Mistake 6. Skipping the reinforcement step. Input alone isn't enough. You need that active processing time to move information from short-term to long-term memory. The biggest mistake of all? Expecting to understand everything immediately. Language acquisition is like physical fitness. You can't see the changes day by day, but over weeks and months, the transformation is remarkable. Success stories and timeline expectations. Let me share what you can realistically expect with this method. Month 122, you'll start recognizing words and phrases automatically. Listening becomes less tiring. Month 3-4, you'll catch yourself understanding chunks of speech without translating. Your pronunciation naturally improves. Month 6, you'll be able to follow movies and TV shows with minimal effort. Your confidence in conversations increases dramatically. Month 12, you'll think in English for basic thoughts. Complex ideas still require effort, but daily communication feels natural. Take Sarah, a nurse from Brazil. After 8 months of consistent comprehensible input practice, she was promoted to work with English-speaking patients. She tells me the breakthrough moment came when she realized she was dreaming in English. Or David from South Korea, who went from barely understanding simple conversations to giving presentations at international conferences after 14 months of this method. The key insight from all successful learners: they stopped studying English and started living with English. Now let's discuss your action plan. Starting today. Here's exactly what you need to do starting today. Today, find one English content creator or series that genuinely interests you. Watch one 10-15-minute video without subtitles in your native language. Write down 3 new expressions you noticed, not just words. Expressions. This week, commit to 30 minutes of comprehensible input daily. Set up your reinforcement system, AI assistant, notebook, or app. Find your optimal difficulty level. You should understand 70-90% naturally percent. This month, establish your rhythm and stick to it. Track your progress and adjust difficulty as needed. Connect with other learners for motivation and accountability. Remember this: every English speaker you admire started exactly where you are now. The difference between those who become fluent and those who stay stuck isn't talent, it's method and consistency. You now have the method. The question is, are you ready to commit to the consistency? Fluency isn't a destination, it's a journey, and that journey starts with your very next piece of comprehensible input. Stop studying English, start acquiring it. Your fluent future is waiting. If this method makes sense to you, start today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Choose your first piece of content, commit to the process, and trust that your brain knows how to acquire language naturally. The only way to become fluent in English isn't through perfect grammar or massive vocabulary lists. It's through understanding real English in real contexts, consistently, over time. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Here at Essential English Podcast, I'm committed to guiding you through this journey, with the same gentle research-backed approach you've experienced today. Subscribe to join thousands of learners who are transforming their English naturally and enjoyably. As your soft-spoken companion on this language learning adventure, I'll be here every step of the way, providing you with practical methods that actually work. Hit subscribe, ring that notification bell, and let's continue this journey together. Your fluent future starts now, and I'm honored to be part of it.